Hi, welcome to the Quinta, and in the last video I was taking out the floor in the Balearo and also putting in the Veluxes, and I've finished taking out the floor now and got a bit of cleaning up to do. We've got a lot more space in here now, and the first task of today is to remove all of this junk and chop it up for firewood. So today's video is mainly going to be about destruction rather than construction, because I want to get rid of all of the old wood and I want to get rid of the wonky and horrible and wrong height concrete shelf at the back of the barn. Once I've done that, I can determine the levels of the floor that we're actually going to be building to, and everything should hopefully start to fall into place. So all of this wood is beyond use really. We've put aside anything that we thought was worth keeping, and this is going to be firewood, but I've got to just make sure I don't destroy the saw by hitting any nails. I've just been cleaning up that floor. I know, I need to do that up there as well, don't I? That is a little bit cleaner in here. I've actually taken out a couple of sack loads of rubbish that fell when I was taking out the floor. And now I need to actually have a look at how level everything is. And, well, I know it's not very level, it's sloping down that way. And I think that they knew what they were doing, because this wall here is actually underground, and over in the corner, hopefully you can see, there is a drain. Now I want to make use of that drain, and I want to put in all the way along here a pipe, because this corner here is where we're going to put the bathroom, and then we're going to have the kitchen here, so you've got a bit of light from the window. There we go. And all of that has got to fall and then evacuate here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get hold of a load of gravel, and I'm going to level it with gravel. That way water can still flow through. I'll put down a bit of membrane, and then I shall put a slab on top of it so that I can eventually tile it. So that's the current plan, and if you can think of any flaws in that, do let me know. I've actually got a new toy that I haven't used yet. This was sent to me by Lasgoo, just for full disclosure. I didn't have to pay for it, and I don't know how good it's going to be. But they reached out to me when they saw one of my previous videos when I was just using a clear hose filled with water to determine levels. So hopefully this is going to be a bit more accurate, because what I need to do is to determine by how much I need to bring up one side, and I do want to have a layer of gravel all over the floor so that any water that comes in can percolate out. Yeah, let's go and give it a go. Let's have a look at what we've got. Oh, that's a nice case. And, ooh, instructions. Well, won't need them. And there is the thing itself. So yeah, I've got a charger for it. I've got, oh, a remote control, look at that. And I've got a bracket. So I guess that's so you can stick it to something permanent and keep it in one place. Right, let's see how this works. Right, do we have an on switch? Ooh. And now that's not exactly what I want it to do. I want to... Okay, so you can turn on and off the various lines. That's the one I want. I want to see the levels here. Now, I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to see, but the line comes all the way around here. And there we go. Hopefully that'll come up on the camera. Here's my lowest point. Have a look. 13 inches, 33 centimetres. So I've really got a lot to pack out in here. If I come up the other end, I can see that it's pretty much, what's that, 2 centimetres, 4 centimetres. Yeah, so I've got quite a lot more. I thought I was going to have at least 10 centimetres, but a whole 30 centimetres is quite a lot. One thing that I have noticed though, I thought in the corner that this plinth here was going to be standing proud. This one you can see is going to be standing proud. So I need to think whether I'm going to remove some of that. And this one here is just going to disappear into the floor. I'm pretty sure that's going to come in handy going forward. But just for the moment, I'll put it back in its box. If you're interested in one of these, it does feel pretty sturdy. Seems to be made from metal as opposed to plastic, and it's got some shock resistant stuff on it. I'll put a code on the screen that they gave me. You'll get a discount, and that is the way that we say thank you very much for sending me a toy. Okay, I need to get some crowbar work done. See how easily this comes out. Small amount of persuasion. Nice, okay. All of this rubble will disappear into the floor as well. Any that I can get out. Nice. Okay, the next thing that I want to do is I want to get this out. It's wonky, it's at the wrong height, and it's just generally in the way. And what I intend to do is I want to cut the beams, and then I shall use them to mark out on the floor some bays so that I can actually pour the concrete in sections, get the gravel in sections, and hopefully have something that I can get pretty level. Otherwise it's going to be a nightmare. I do need some flat surfaces to work off. One thing standing up on this platform reveals is that we have got a certain amount of space to fill. So I think I'm going to be taking a leaf out of Osher's book, and if you don't know who Osher is, he is My Portugal Dream, and he is restoring a little house, something quite similar to this in many ways, up about 4 miles away. These little monsters are 6 months old now, and in next week's video we're actually going to be meeting up with Justin and Barbara from Quinta Baranta, and Rob and Mandy from Planet Portugal, and also another wonderful family, and we're going to reunite all the puppies for the first time since they left the Quinta. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Might be quite an exciting day. Before I cut that beam out, if I do cut it out without smashing out some of the bricks, I've got potentially an awful lot of weight that's going to fall. So, a bit of smashing. Actually make some useful infill for the floor there, so that's pretty satisfactory. I shouldn't need to move it around too much, maybe give it a bit of a compaction before I put some gravel over the top. These beams are reinforced concrete, so it's time to break out the beast. Little dusty. Well, it was pretty satisfactory, if slightly dodgy. I'm sure I'll get told off for not wearing a mask. That was actually quite quick. Plenty of cleaning up to do. I'd better go and do that and then go on to something else. Here we go. I've got the final lumps of concrete out, and it's exposed the next jobs, which is going to be filling in some holes here. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to plasterboard all of this. But before we can do that, we're going to build a frame, like a stud wall frame, inside, and we'll have a damp-proof membrane behind that, or a breathable membrane behind that, chuck some insulation in, and hopefully that will make it a really nice space. We're obviously going to have these massive rocks visible, and having taken this nasty shelf off, you can really see how imposing it is going to be. So there we go, on to the next thing. Our pear tree is an absolute sea of flowers. You can see that Ev's been busy sorting out the vegetable patch. This is a no-dig one, and it seems to be working pretty well. And cabbages flowering as well. It is a glorious time of year. What are you thugs doing? With any luck, we'll have a good crop of fruit this year. It was a bit dry last year, so we didn't get as much as we really would have liked. More peaches blossoming. Great.